What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fearless Fly 100. I'm glad to have you joining me this morning. Well, we're back at it again. I'm making another video. This time here, it's a follow-up video to the 2005 GMC ENVOY that we have back there. If you notice back there, it is outside. Yes, the vehicle is outside. Last time you probably saw it, it was in the shop and we were working on it, pulling the transmission out and fixing it all up. Well, I figured since it's been a couple of weeks and I hadn't made a video because of me catching something and affecting my sinuses and me floating on the air and being dizzy and all that, I decided now to make a follow-up video to the 2005 GMC ENVOY. And yes, I am outside in the nice winter cold air for y'all. When it's 31 degrees, you can probably hear the winds blowing, so that makes the wind chill factor of about showing about 21 or so. Yes, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm outside for y'all, for my subscribers and anybody who watches this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be outside. I'd be in the nice, warm confines of my house or in a vehicle. Speaking of which, let's find out if this vehicle moves and how it does and everything. Plus, we've got a lot more info, a lot more things that I found out about this vehicle while working on it. So let's hop in the ENVOY and let's see what it does. I've got it warmed up. As you can see, is a little bit of steam coming off the back end over there. It's running right now, warming up. So let's hop in the ENVOY and let's see what it does. So now we're in the ENVOY. As you can see, it does run, and I just put it in drive. And it took us a little while to get everything all back together on it, and we had to do a few more things to it as well. Sorry about the bumpiness here going down, coming out of the driveway from our house. It's a little bit bumpy. but as you can see, it takes off and goes now, and that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted from the transmission, because the transmission broke, and I've got some pictures to show, and I'll put them in right here of what happened to the transmission and why it did not work anymore. So we got the transmission back from the transmission shop, all new parts in it, new torque converter, new pump. As you can see, as you saw in the picture, the pump broke, it shattered. I hadn't seen one of those do that in a long time. Of course, it's a 4L60E in this vehicle, and anything can happen on that transmission. Vehicle has 189. Well, now it's got 190,000 miles, but it had 189,000 when we pulled the transmission out. Let me move this out of the way. It's kind of blocking the view there, blocking y'all's view. So we got the transmission back and put it all back together. New torque converter, new filter in it, new gaskets, new seals, even all new parts in the transmission, and it works and it shifts like it should. Through all the gears. As a matter of fact, we went down to Victoria, Texas with it, which from here is about 125 miles one way, so it's about 250 miles round trip. We spent a day going over there and coming back because I had to go check out a possible job interview that I had down there in Victoria. So we drove it down there, drove it back. Fuel mileage wasn't the best. We burned a tank of fuel going there and back. It wasn't the best conditions. It was kind of windy going there as well, and but it did fine. We didn't have any problems with it, and everything worked like it should. With the new well, I say it's new, but it's the same transmission, but it's been rebuilt with all new parts, all new components, all new fluid in the transmission. I'm running Amsoil full synthetic transmission fluid in the transmission, and in the transfer case we changed out the fluid there as well, and put new fluid in the transfer case. I figured to do that while we have it all apart, and plus we also changed the engine oil filter on this vehicle as well. We're running 5W30 full synthetic Amsoil in the engine as well. Which brings me up to one of the things that I found about this vehicle being an 05. I didn't know very much about this vehicle when we bought it. We bought it last year. And if you go back, back last year and some of the videos, you'll see when we purchased it and how much we purchased it for and everything like that. And great, until the transmission gave up in about the middle of the year last year. So while I had the transmission out, we were looking at the back end of the engine, making sure that the rear main seal and everything was good. And it was good. There's no leaks, and everything was all nice and clean on the engine. And I was like, man, for 190,000 miles, this thing looks a little bit, it looks pretty good. It looks clean and everything. And I was looking on the back of the engine, and there's is that a deer? Oh yeah, we got some deer up here running around in the cold. Anyways, mosquito. I was looking on the back of the engine, and there's a little tag on the back of the engine, and this little tag says, and this is on the head. I don't know if it's the head or the block or the whole, what all took place. But the tag said remanufactured to GM specifications, or GM remanufactured something or another like that. And I was like, okay, this ain't the original engine in this vehicle. Somebody had put another head or put a whole nother engine in this Envoy, and it said 6. The date on it was said 6 of 12. So sometime in 2012, somebody had put another engine in this vehicle, which to me is like, heck yeah. So this engine doesn't have, it probably doesn't have 190,000 miles on it. This engine has probably got less than 100,000. It's probably got 100,000 on it. And I got to thinking, I was like, okay, so we paid $2,000 for the vehicle, and we had to put, a few things on it after we got it. It needed some tires, and so we put some new tires on it. I'll get into that in just a minute about the tires and all the specifications on that. And now transmission gave up, and now we've spent $1,100 on another transmission. So, which isn't bad, considering, how much vehicles are going for nowadays. So I got to thinking about it, and I was like, man, for the price that we've paid and everything that we put into this vehicle, it's been about $4,500. So $2,000 for the vehicle, $1,100 for the transmission. The tires, we went with some Yokohama all-terrain tires on it, some 245 75 17s on it. We went up a size to the biggest size that we could go without having to do some modifications. Where a fire was. We didn't get called to that. Anyways, let me go again. So we spent $1,000 in tires, $1,100 on transmission, $2,000 for the vehicle. Okay, so we're up to what, $4,200, and then the battery in it. We don't know where. We only know that the battery came from somewhere else. We don't know where it came from. And when I went to go start this thing up after we got the transmission, I had charged the battery up because I've been sitting for like 6 months, and I charged it up and put it in the vehicle, and it started right up. I noticed the date on it was like 9 of 17 on the battery, and it was one of them aftermarket Walmart battery, a battery from Walmart that I hadn't seen, but it had Walmart stamping on it, so it was getting close. It was about 4.5 years old on the battery, and it started right up. Well, I got the transmission in and started driving it and everything. It started getting, every time you started, it started getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And I checked the alternator. Alternator's charging about 14.1, thereabouts. And so I know it's not the alternator. Is he chewing on a bobcat or something over there? there. I saw a vulture. Anyways, so we put a new battery in the vehicle. Batteries ran about 130 bucks for the vehicle. So now here we are. We've got a vehicle that runs and drives. Got the 4.2 inline six, which is a dang good motor for these vehicles. This thing is four-wheel drive. New rebuilt transmission that has 1,000 miles on it already, and just a good running. I mean, it got hot heat, it's got cold AC, and if we've spent $4,500 on this vehicle, I think that's a dang good price for a vehicle that's probably going to last us, another, I don't know, few years. I don't know. As long as we want it to last, I guess it's going to last. And so I just feel like that we've got a pretty decent deal. Now, one thing that I also found out up underneath, this thing is kind of, let me see if you may be able to hear it, you may not be able to hear it, but as you may have seen in the first video that I had with this Envoy, when I first got it, it's got a cold air intake. So they did a different intake on it with it. It's got an aftermarket air filter and tube and all that on it. And then I kept hearing this noisy exhaust on this truck, on this Envoy. And I look up underneath while I was doing the transmission, and I noticed that somebody had put a different catalytic converter and a different muffler on this Envoy. They went with the MagnaFlow, I guess a high flow CAD on it, and a MagnaFlow muffler on this Envoy with the inline six in it. And I tell you what, this thing doesn't sound too bad. When you first start it up, it's cold, and it sounds really good with what's on it. Plus the cold air intake that's on it too makes it sound like it gets up and goes. And I noticed when I was looking at the how it was all welded together, how the catalytic converter and the muffler was all welded together on it, and somebody did an awesome job. Whoever welded it is a damn good welder, because it doesn't look like any mud daubler stuff like a lot of shops do. It makes it look ugly, and it just looks terrible, on the welds and everything. They were good looking welds, nothing's leaking, and it's been together for the longest time. It looks professionally done. Whoever did it, whatever shop did it, whoever what, where, when, and why, they did a bang up job on it. So I'm happy for that, and everything that has gone on with this Envoy here. And one thing also that I was checking out too, this thing is four-wheel drive, and I was trying to check out the four-wheel drive one. I thought it worked on this vehicle, and I did some checking on it while I had it in the shop, and I had it up on the jack stands and all that with all four wheels off the ground. I put it in four-wheel high and four-wheel low, and something is clicking, or something is not working like it should, like the actuator for the differential or something is not working like it should, and activating the front differential. But the transfer case does work. You can see the drive shaft spinning. It's something in the differential. It may be the actuator that's not actuating and locking in the differential for it to for the wheels to drive. I don't know. I'll have to look into it later. But right now, it runs and drives. It goes wherever we need it to do. It does whatever we need it to do. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about all that's taking place with this Envoy. Oh, and the best part about it, it's paid off. Yeah, it's paid for. Yeah, we paid it off. So it's ready to go for 2022, and what we're doing. And the only thing that we got to do, you can't see it right now, but we got to do an alignment to it. Something happened to it when we towed it, and the wheels are off. The steering wheel's off a little bit to the left, so I got to take it to the alignment shop. They're going to charge us about $100 to do it, to get it back where it should be and have the steering wheel straight. And then after that, I'll probably rotate the tires, because the tires probably are let me know what you think. Do you think $4,500 is a good deal for this 2005 GMC Envoy? It's got this seat behind me right here, and plus it's got a third row seat behind that one too, so you can haul whoever you want, and plus the seats fold down and everything, so you can put a whole bunch of stuff in the back and just haul it back home. And as you can see, this thing runs. It runs pretty good. I'm already up to 60 miles an hour with it, and it just runs really well. And I think it's a good vehicle, and it's going to hold up really well. And everything that's been done to it has been great. It's an awesome vehicle, I think. Now, if I can get the 4-wheel drive to work, hey, that would be really good. And then we can go to the beach or to the mountains, ride in the snow or whatever. So let me know what you think. Throw some comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this 2005 GMC Envoy that we picked up and now have $4,500 into it. It's pretty much a new vehicle. Yeah, pretty much a new vehicle, new battery, new tires, new rebuilt transmission, and an engine that has low miles on it. I don't think it's a bad deal, especially when it's paid off. You know, you can haul all the kids around, all your groceries, and go pick up. If you see a buck or a deer that you hit, oh, it's got a grill guard on the front of it too, which adds to people's liking, the value of the vehicle or whatever. So yeah, let me know what you think. Throw me some comments down at the bottom. I'd like to hear what your comments are and see what y'all think. Stay tuned to the channel. I've got plenty more things coming up, including an old car. Yeah, we got a car that's coming, an old car that's coming on the channel that I'm really excited about. It's a 78 Chevrolet El Camino that a customer had told me about. So they want to get that car up and running. So just wait, be patient. It'll be coming up here on the channel soon. So get ready. It's gonna be some awesome content. Plus coming up to more info on Carvana. If you're not familiar with Carvana, we're going to go into that as well. Carvana is a online vehicle purchasing agency, car dealer, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of people have had good experiences with Carvana, but here recently we're going to expose the bad and the ugly about Carvana and what they're doing. So there's going to be more information about that and things going on with them too. Show me some likes and and then put some comments down at the bottom and see what your thoughts are with everything. Look me up on Instagram at FearlessFly100 as well as TikTok, FearlessFly101 on TikTok. If you look on Instagram, I posted a picture of that 78 El Camino. So if you want to check that out and see what it looks like, it's just one picture on Instagram. I've got the picture posted on Instagram there of the El Camino as well. I hope everybody is well, hope everybody is safe, and hope everybody is staying warm. It's kind of cold outside right now. We avoided a whole bunch of ice. I mean, it did get cold and cold enough to have ice and everything around here, but all the rain and sleet and everything came in first, and then it got cold, so we dodged a bullet with that. Again, hope everybody is well, hope everybody is safe, and look forward to seeing you on the next video.